Week 11 of the fantasy football season. Here's a few kickers I have as sleepers this week. The first guy, Matt Amendola of the Houston Texans. So Amendola, the hero last week with a game-winning field goal to beat the Cincinnati Bengals. So Amendola, he's bounced around the league the last few seasons. New York Jets, Kansas City Chiefs. He didn't play it all this season, and now landing in Week 10, he did with the Texans with Ka'im Fairbairn out for a while with his injury. So Amendola in his debut, game-winning field goal and 12 fantasy points. Obviously can't beat that. Right now available 95% of fantasy leagues. This Texan team, they get a lot of field goal opportunities. One of the better offenses in the league and improved offenses. And this week versus an Arizona Cardinal team with the Texans back at home indoors, obviously they play in, which is always a plus for a kicker. I think Amendola is going to get more opportunities. He's going to get good chances versus a weaker defense, and they do give up the 10th most fantasy points to kickers on the season. The next kicker is Chase McLaughlin of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So McLaughlin, last season, he was a good kicker with the Indianapolis Colts. Obviously, they went another direction with Matt Gay, but McLaughlin, he's just kicking the football well this season. Last few games for McLaughlin: Week 8 at Buffalo 6, Week 9 at Houston 16, and Week 10 versus Tennessee 7. So this week, a tougher matchup, no doubt about it, at the San Francisco 49ers that give up the 12th least amount of fantasy points to kickers on the season. But we know this Niner defense, for the most part, is a bend but don't break type of defense where a lot of teams have settled for field goals this season. But right now, Tampa Bay, they might have to take some shots at deeper field goals in this game if they want to keep points up on the scoreboard with a high-powered offense like the San Francisco 49ers. And like I said, McLaughlin, 90% of his field goals he's hit this season. So right now, if you need a kicker, he's available in 98% of fantasy leagues. Third and final kicker that's a sleeper is Joey Sly of the Washington Commanders. So Joey Sly, it's been a good season for him at the kicking position and for this Washington Commander team. And right now, he's out there in 99% of fantasy leagues. In the last few weeks, Week 8 versus Philly 9, Week 9 in New England Patriots 8, Week 10 at Seattle Seahawks 8, and now Week 11, a good matchup versus the New York Giants. You know, their defense has been in trouble all season. They got a lot of young guys back there in the secondary that's made mistakes, and teams have scored points on this Giant team for the majority of the season. It has even scored 30 on them in that Week 9 game. So I think Joey Sly is going to get a few opportunities. This is an NFC East division ball game where I think it's going to be a grinded out between both teams. And it wouldn't be surprising to me if Sly, once again, 8-9 fantasy point range, he could give fantasy owners this week. So that's a few kickers I have as sleepers for Week 11 of the fantasy football season.